We have a great program on hand today, and to get us started, please help us welcome our Director of Athletics, John Wildhack.
Welcome, everyone. Let me start. We acknowledge with respect the Onondaga Nation, firekeepers of the Haudenosaunee, the indigenous people on whose ancestral land Syracuse University now stands. On behalf of the Syracuse University athletic staff, I welcome all of you to the John A. Lally Athletics Complex. This is a special and historic day for Syracuse athletics. As you will hear and learn, the John A. Lally Athletics Complex is dedicated to serve and support our 600 student athletes here at Syracuse. Representing our student athletes today are two of our best. Please welcome the co-presidents of our Student Athlete Advisory Committee, Emily Nugent and Louisa Gathman. Emily is a senior studying health and exercise science in the David B. Falk College of Sport and Human Dynamics and competes in cross country and track. Louisa, who hails from Germany, is a senior studying human development and family science at Falk College. She's a key member of our women's rowing program. And it's now my pleasure to welcome Louisa to the podium.
Hello, everyone. My name is Louisa Gathman. I am the co-president of the Student Athlete Advisory Committee together with Emily Nugent. And on behalf of all student athletes here, I want to express our deep gratitude to John and Laura Lally and other donors for your very generous gifts. With your donations, all of our 600 student athletes will have expanded access to learning spaces and lounges, allowing us to interact with one another, as well as become better people, students, and athletes. Now it is my pleasure to introduce Syracuse University's 12th Chancellor and President, Kent Severud.
Thank you, Louisa. Thank you for your leadership, and both as a student athlete and member of the Student Athlete Advisory Council. And thanks all of you for coming to this happy day at Syracuse University. And we're celebrating the naming and the first of many stages of creating the John A. Lally Athletics Complex. I'm so grateful on behalf of the entire Orange community to John and Laura Lally. This gift is going to change athletics at Syracuse University, and I just want to say it that precisely in so many ways for the better. I also want to recognize some other folks here today. I think we have a bunch of trustees here, Steve Ballantyne, Cliff Ensley, who I saw, and Christine Larson. The trustees have been so helpful and instrumental in supporting this transformative project. And I want to thank all the Legends Society members, those here and not here, because their generosity allowed us to get started on this project right away when we needed it. And of course, a terrific team in advancement, Michael Paulus and his team, Tracy Barlock, and the whole university advancement team for helping with this ceremony. And I also want to thank John Wildhack and the entire athletic staff for all they've done. When we recruited John Wildhack here from ESPN, I assured him he was coming to a incredibly stable, unchanging athletics landscape in intercollegiate sports. And he has been kind enough to do two things. He has never reminded me of that promise, and he brought with him somebody who's unpaid volunteer with 7 million people to keep these things going forward has been transformative as well. So I want to thank Amy Wildhack for everything she's done. So this space you're about to walk into is going to give a dazzling first impression of Syracuse to our student athletes in 20 different sports. They'll start their college career by walking through the doors at the end of this space you're about to see. And how it looks and how it feels will serve this place incredibly well. The whole complex that is now named for John Lally is the physical embodiment of our promise to our student athletes and our investment we're going to continue to make in them, to make them whole people, as you said, Louise, to make them strong academically, strong in values, and strong competitively. And that's what Syracuse is about and what we care about. The spaces are just a small part of the vision, but they're a really important part to keep us moving forward. In the next phase of the work on the spaces, we'll build out the academic, medical, recovery, and dining centers that will serve all student athletes, and particularly importantly, we'll renovate and expand our football operations facilities. And the end result is going to be a world-class facility that will benefit all our student athletes, all our coaches, all our staff. I'm around a lot of college presidents these days, and guess what they talk about all the time? College sports, okay? And there's a lot of woe is me out there. There's a lot of woe is me, oh, the good old days, why can't we have the good old days? And I just want to tell you, at Syracuse today, for a whole lot of reasons, we're not woe is me, we're full of optimism. The best days are ahead of us, and this is evidence of it. We have, of course, a great athletic tradition and so many wonderful stories to tell of how we've gotten this far, but I really do believe the best is ahead for us, and the future is really orange. So thank you, John and Laura, for making that true.
Chancellor, thank you for your remarks. Today's ribbon-cutting ceremony doesn't happen without the support of so many people. And I want to start, Chancellor Dr. Chen. I speak on behalf of the entire athletic staff when I thank you for your support of this project, your overall commitment to Syracuse athletics and our student athletes. And I personally thank you for all that both of you have done for Syracuse University. Thank you. I want to welcome Vice Chancellor Mike Haney. Mike has been a great partner to athletics since I arrived at Syracuse, so Mike, thank you for being here. I want to thank our board chair, Kathy Walters, and trustee Jimmy Kuhn, who is chair of the athletics committee. We appreciate their support, their guidance, and their wisdom. I want to welcome Mary Graham, our faculty athletics representative. Mary's been in her role for 6 months. She's done a remarkable work in being an advocate for all 600 of our student athletes. As the Chancellor noted, it's great to have some trustees here today. Cliff Ensley with his wife, Sue, Steve Ballantyne, and Christine Larson. Christine, there you are, Christine. It's great to have you, and thank the three of you for your support of Syracuse University and Syracuse athletics. I thank all of our Legend Society donors who have contributed to the John A. Lally Athletics Complex. We shared a vision. We shared a vision with you, and you have stepped forward to support and to make our vision a reality today. As the Chancellor said, our University Athletics Advancement Team, a huge thanks, Tracy Barlock, our Interim Chief Advancement Officer, Michael Paulus, Senior Associate Athletic Director of the Cuse Athletics Fund, the entire Cuse Athletics Fund team. They've done a great job. And a special thank you, I know he's here today, he's going to be mad at me, but Bob Arklepane, Senior Director of Development and Alumni Engagement. It was Bob who first engaged John and Laura that ultimately led to the transformative gift that they made. So Bob, wherever you are, thank you. You're probably, there you are. We're also indebted to Pete Sala, Vice President and Chief Facilities Officer, Joe Alfieri, Mark Hansen, Leonard Chains from the Campus Planning, Design, and Construction team, Maury Mosovitz, our Associate Athletic Director for Facilities, Gensler Architects, the Jack Porter Company, Panescape, and the Hayner Hoyt Corporation. They took a concept, and what you're going to see is what they did with it and what they built, and it's magnificent, so thank them. John and Laura, your support, your commitment, and your passion inspires all of us every single day. Thank you for believing in us. Thank you for trusting us. Thank you for sharing in our vision. Your generosity will enable tens of thousands of young women and men to come to Syracuse University to learn, to grow as people, to thrive, to compete, and to win at the highest level. Today, our collective vision and dream is being realized, and we're just getting started. So what does today represent? It represents the official beginning of the multi-phase vision for the John A. Lally Athletics Complex. It represents a new era in Syracuse athletics. What you'll see is a new entryway to our home. It will be the greeting point for all, whether they be current student athletes, business partners, alumni, donors, recruits and their families, and our staff. We will proudly welcome all of them to the new home of Syracuse athletics. In this entire complex, the John A. Lally Athletics Complex, think of it as an academic and athletic village. It represents our commitment to provide every student athlete with the tools to reach their full potential, both academically and athletically. We will provide best-in-class services in academic support, sports medicine, nutrition, strength and conditioning, career counseling and development, and personal support for every single student athlete here at Syracuse. It will enable us to recruit the brightest and the best student athletes, and it will help us compete and win at the ACC level and the national level. The success of our student athletes, both academically and athletically, bring great pride to our university, our community, our alumni, and Orange fans around the world. And it is now my distinct pleasure to introduce John A. Lally, Syracuse University class of 1982.
Okay, thank you. I can tell you that's the only time an offensive guard from Clarence, New York ever got a standing ovation. Well, most of the people in the room with the helmet on might recognize me, but without a helmet, you had no clue who I was. So, thank you, Chancellor, Dr. Ruth, John and Amy, the development staff. You guys have done a phenomenal job. But the group that's allowed this to actually happen, in addition to the support I've made, is the Legend Society. If you're a Legend Society and you're sitting, stand up. If you're standing, raise your hand, because you're the group that deserves a ton of credit. Thank you. So everyone's wondering, how did I get involved and how did this whole thing become a reality? Well, when I played here, the amount that I learned was immense. So I graduated, I went to work, and I started using the things that I learned on the classroom and on the field to run a business. And I thought, man, this is great. I read a book by Don Shula and Ken Blanchard, Everyone's a Coach. I said, man, that makes all the sense in the world. So I started adopting the strategies that they used. And my work year was just like a football game. Started the 1st, ended the end of December. We would take the weekend off. If we won, great. If we lost, well, then we'd sit back and try to figure out how to be better next year. Like the university coaches, they want to get better each year. And that's what they're trying to do. And what I realized when I came back is we don't have the facilities to compete at the level we want to compete in the ACC. So what's the easy solution? And Coach Babers will put a smile on his face right now. We all complain about the coach. Oh, coach sucks. He doesn't know what he's doing, blah, 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 blah. Well, Coach Babers would love to have a world-class facility to bring all his recruits through to show, yeah, we are serious. And we're going to do what it takes to be the best university, the best student athletes, and win as many games as possible. So that was kind of how I got in, and I don't regret a minute of it. I'm super excited about where we're at this point in time, but understand This is phase 1A. In the summer, they want to start phase 1B. Well, that means as a university, as a development staff, and as alum, we need to do everything we can to support it. And I hope when your development guy calls, don't do what I did, because I got stuck with Arkle pain, which I promised I wouldn't bring him up. But I'm always guaranteed a laugh. Whenever Bob and I get going, it's always good for a laugh. But Bob, like John, you know, I want to thank you for all the support and everything you've done for Laura and I. So I hope you all enjoy the new facility.
Okay, John, don't stay seated for very long. So it's my pleasure to invite John and Laura. Please come up. Chancellor Dr. Chen, my wife Amy, please come up. And why don't we cut the ribbon and let's formally open the John A. Lally Athletics Complex entryway, okay?
One, two. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Okay, so I just made it up. Here you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to enter the John A. Lally Athletics Complex entryway.
I know I came up with this.